discovery and growth. I'm Jen, and together with my co host Christy, we'll be your guides on this enlightening path.
That's right, Jen. Our show is all about exploring various modalities and meeting extraordinary guests who are experts in their field. Today, we have the incredible Yogi Bryan with us, who's on a massive mission to help the world release not a million, but 100 billion fucks. I
And
love it.
don't forget to check out Yogi Bryan's app, Sleep with Yogi Bryan, for a truly blissful and restorative experience.
Beautiful. So, first of all, Yogi Bryan, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on our show today. Could you share with our listeners your personal journey that led you to the profound spiritual awakening? Like, what triggered this transformative experience for you? Because I know you've had a bit of a journey,
Awesome.
right?
Yeah. And thank you so much, Jen and Christy, for having me on your podcast. I love it.
Beautiful.
And yeah, my journey started back in 2016. I created an Instagram account to make fun of yoga. I wasn't practicing at the time. I didn't know what I was doing. I saw one of my friends on Instagram. She was doing a yoga challenge for her studio, for a local studio, and she was doing like Instagram pictures, doing yoga on top of her kitchen table, on all different furniture. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I should create an Instagram account to make fun of it, make up my own poses. So I did that. It became somewhat popular, and I figured I should join a yoga studio to make fun of yoga more so I can learn about yoga, do yoga more, get into the positions better. And I'll just go to the studio to learn about it so I can make fun of it more. And I went to the studio, learned more about it, started to make fun of yoga more. And what happened was yoga started transforming my body, transforming my mind. I was going through rough time at that time, so I was getting through some rough shit. And yoga like started transforming my life. And I figured I'll just become a yoga teacher. So I took yoga teacher training, became a yoga teacher, and like it just spiraled into where I'm at right now. I say this quote a lot. One of my teachers said that his teacher said, if you practice yoga, the universe takes care of the rest of your life.
Mm.
And that's what happened to me. I practice yoga, practice meditation, and the universe just takes care of the rest of the details. So that's my story, and now I'm here.
That's amazing. I've got goosebumps as you were saying that. I truly believe, I teach people to lean into, connecting and trusting spirit. And the more deeper we lean into that surrender, the universe does just take care of us, right?
Absolutely, it does. It does. It
Yeah.
just, with meditation and yoga, it's just like I get downloads from the universe of what I need to do next, what I need to do next. It's like I see through the walls, I see around the corners, just being able to sit and meditate and just get into my body doing yoga. So, yeah, powerful stuff.
Beautiful.
Amazing. So, from creating the Instagram page to poking fun at yoga, you've managed to create a space where laughter and spirituality blend beautifully. So, how did you navigate this transition, and what inspired you to create this joyful environment within the yoga and spiritual community?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just when I first started practicing, I felt like yoga was a little stuffy, or at least what I was introduced to. And like one of my mottos too is it's just fucking yoga. Like relax, it's just fucking yoga. We're not competing here. We're just trying to focus on ourselves and like with what's inside our yoga mat. So I really embrace that. It's just fucking yoga, and I want it to be like a fun place. When I first started practicing, also, people would tell me, like, oh, you want to be a yoga teacher? Yoga is so saturated. It's going to be hard for you to teach yoga and find a yoga teaching job. It's so saturated, so saturated. And what I found is it's not saturated at all. Like, how many people do I know that don't practice yoga or don't meditate? There's so many. There's like a different world out there. And I want to bring that to the different world with my goal, releasing 100 billion fucks. I want to get to the people that don't want to do yoga or don't want to meditate, that only have like a minute of their day that can just move their body and maybe do a little bit of yoga here or a little bit of meditation here. But, the market's not saturated at all. There's a lot of people out there that need this shit. So I bring the humor into it, laugh a little bit, say the F word, and then drop down and get deep into your unconscious mind.
You don't say the F word a little bit. You say fuck a lot. You're going to fit in well here.
That's true, right?
So, the other thing I noticed that I was reading through like your bio and your page, and there's something that really intrigued me, which was the 90-day meditation challenge that you gave yourself. So meditation clearly has been quite an integral part of your life, right? Can you tell us about this 90-day meditation challenge and how that impacted your spiritual growth?
Yes, that was one of the biggest things that I did for myself is that 90-day meditation challenge. And I started that in 2019. So 2016, I started my yoga journey. In 2019, I challenged myself, I'm going to meditate for 90 days every day and just try and develop a meditation practice. And after the 90 days, if I don't like this, I'll quit. I want to do 90 days and just get my 90 days under my belt. And for the first like 76 days, I didn't like yoga at all. I mean, I didn't like meditation at all. Like I was like, and I didn't set a duration. I said, I'll just sit and meditate for 30 seconds to a minute, maybe 5 minutes. And I gradually built myself up. And around the 30-day mark, I was meditating 20 minutes. But yeah, it didn't break through to me until day 77. I remember I was driving to work at the time and I was like, holy shit. Like meditation has just given me like almost superpowers. Like I see what's going on in my subconscious mind. I'm calmer. I'm figuring out what my subconscious I need to reprogram my unconscious mind. So I started seeing things. It's like I turned on the light in my mind and became more aware of my mind, my body, my breath. And I was like, holy shit, I'm going to do this meditation practice forever. And I think I went like 250 days, like meditating every day until I broke the streak on my own, because I was getting to the point where I was like, I had to meditate to keep my streak, and it wasn't like quality meditation. So like one day I just broke my streak, started from zero. I didn't meditate for that day. And then I just came back to like quality meditations. And now it's like, maybe I miss a day here or there, but I pretty much almost meditate every day since 2019. But it's not like I don't have to meditate. I don't have to do it just for the tick mark. I do it for my own practice.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
I've got a question for meditation, because I come across a lot of people that I connect with are generally right at the start of their journey. And the most common thing I hear, and you probably hear this too, is I can't meditate. I'm like, bullshit. Everyone can fucking meditate, right? It's not
Yes.
about quietening your mind. It's about like giving your mind something to focus on, like the breath, like drop into your body, feel the sensations, track that energy through your body, right? What is sort of a hint or a tip or some guidance for people that are new to this path that can help them start a meditative practice like you have?
Yeah, great question. And it's really awareness. So my teacher, he told me that what's outside of your awareness is outside of your control. So what you're not aware of controls you.
Yeah.
So with that awareness, with that meditation, it brings awareness to you, and you can just be aware of your breath. Sit here and be aware of your breath, and just how does your breath feel? And for the most part, our breath is choppy or it's shallow. So just being aware of our breath, we can be like, okay, let me smooth out my breath. So that's awareness of the breath, and then awareness of the body, like just checking in with your body. How does your body feel? Maybe sitting down and just checking with your body, like where am I holding the tension?
Yeah.
And seeing if you can release that tension. And then with your mind, I get this question a lot. I can't shut off my mind. I can't have my mind being still. Well, you don't have to have your mind still. Like your brain is supposed to think. Your brain is
Right.
keeping you safe from all the dangers out there. So it's just being aware of your thoughts, just watching your thoughts like you're watching a movie. When you're watching a movie, the screen goes by, the scenes go by, and that's just with your thoughts. You watch your thoughts roll by, roll in and out, just like you're the witness. You're stepping away from the thoughts and you're just watching, like you're watching cars driving by the freeway, or you're watching waves forming against the shore and crashing against the shore. It's not shutting it off, it's just watching. And as you're sitting and watching your thoughts, you can realize like, oh, that keeps coming up more and more. Oh, I see that thought here. It's just a thought. I'm much more powerful than thought. So yeah, you don't have to shut off your mind at all. It's just watching, being aware of it.
Yeah, beautiful. I call it being the observer. Just don't
Yes.
attach to it. Like just be the observer. Allow it to flow. I do this thing in my meditation when I get frustrated, especially when I'm frustrated. I've got all this stuff going on. I sort of separate myself out, and I actually watch myself back, holding on to all the shit. Like it's like coming from this not egoic space. it's really entertaining, and it's really like there's a lot that I actually take away from that. So
It's so
yeah,
powerful. It's so powerful.
so powerful. Jen, did you have a question?
Yeah. So with the subconscious mind playing that crucial role, how do you help others understand and release the fucks and embrace love and gratitude and abundance?
Yeah, so I'm a hypnotist as well. I'm a hypnotherapist. So I use a lot of guided hypnosis, a lot of guided meditations in my releasing the fuck. So like, when I come on, I'm like, hey, fucker, that just shocks the conscious mind. You're like, whoa, what did he say? And then it gets you easier to drop into your unconscious mind and just take a mindful breath or just relax a little bit more. So there is science behind, my content with what I'm doing, like snap the fuck
Love
out of
it.
it. That's like
The pattern
hypnotic, like
disrupt.
induction right there. Pattern disrupt. Yeah. So that's what I use. Hypnotherapy is powerful, because our unconscious mind is running the show. Our unconscious mind is doing everything behind the scenes, and our conscious mind protects us. And our conscious mind is like letting things in, letting things out. One of my favorite quotes and my favorite philosophies is, "What you seek, you find." Right? Whatever you're looking for, you're going to find.
Yes.
When you're ready, the teacher appears. Right? Or when you reach for help, the help comes to you. So with what you seek, you find. It's in like all religions, all philosophies. It's so powerful. And that's what your conscious mind is just giving you what you're looking for. And your unconscious mind is like allowing it to be. So it's very powerful to go in there and reprogram the subconscious mind. I listen to subconscious mind reprogramming at night. I do like affirmations. I do a lot of work myself, like with regression. I know how to regress people back to their trauma. So that subconscious mind is very powerful. And I specialize in sleep hypnosis. So that's mainly what my app is to get your ass to sleep.
Yeah, beautiful. On that note, your Sleep with Yogi Bryan app, love that name, offers sleep hypnosis to its users, right? How does this app aid in promoting better sleep and enhancing one's spiritual journey?
Yes. Well, I do long form meditations. So I do that on Relax with Yogi Bryan meditation podcast. It's on all podcast platforms. Then It's Just Fucking Meditation, which those are rated R. That's a podcast that I have. And the app is pretty much all the meditations combined. But what I found is most people listen to the sleep meditations on YouTube, my podcast, like those really help people. So I've just created the app where I just get people in a hypnotic state, getting past their anger, frustration, kind of sinking them down into a hypnotic state where they can relax, release their fucks, and sleep better. So it's very hypnotic.
Yeah. I think, for me, what I notice, people that are on that spiritual journey, like they're sort of just awakening, they've hit a trauma in their life. Like it could be big, and sometimes it's little. It's just like a little trigger that re-triggers something inside of them. So their nervous system is like fried. And one thing we don't really focus on is the amount of sleep and how important sleep is to that journey to nurture us back to health.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
sleep is often overlooked, but crucial for our overall well-being, right? Can you shed some light on the importance of quality sleep in enhancing spiritual growth and self-discovery?
Yeah, I mean, from what I've like researched, is like sleep is the most important. Like sleep is even more important than diet. Like, so a good
Yes.
diet's good for you, but like sleep is even better. Like, because you can lose weight when you're sleeping, and it's good for your heart. I wear an Aura ring, so I have an Aura ring on. I'm not
My husband's
sponsored
got
by
one of them.
Aura at all. I fucking
He
love it.
swears by it.
I've like transformed my whole fucking, like, sleep's better for me than like any other
Yeah.
practice, yoga or anything that I do. I'm like always trying to get like my optimal sleep, and it's really like I was really into like a morning routine, like just waking up at 5 in the morning and not sleeping as much. And what I found, like, that's just stressing me out and stressing out my heart rate variability. So like sleep just really helps your whole body and gets you into that rest and digest. You get in deep sleep, parasympathetic nervous system, your blood vessels dilate, and that blood flow gets you to, gets all the healing in your body, because blood flow equals healing. Also, that's a good time to reprogram your subconscious mind. So I sleep, well, and I also listen to like subconscious reprogrammings, affirmations over and over for the 8 hours, and that's been like a big thing for me. So yeah, I do subconscious reprogrammings also on my app. So it's just affirmations over and over again. Powerful.
Beautiful.
Amazing. So as you've interacted with countless individuals on their spiritual paths, what has been some common challenges that you face, and how do you guide them to overcome these obstacles?
Yeah, so what I've found is, people like the long form meditations, they're searching for it on YouTube, Spotify, they'll find the long form insight timer, my app as well. But then there's a lot of people that don't do long form meditations. So, that's why I do the quick minute or less meditations on Instagram, TikTok, to just basically get people to fucking take a minute and relax and release their fucks. So I found like those are just as powerful as the long form. So that's what I'm trying to do with my goal of helping the world release 100 billion fucks. Yeah, I'm doing the long form, but I'm also doing these quick meditations, affirmations to get people to just chill and relax. Because I've heard our attention span's only 3 seconds now. So I got to get your attention in 3
I think
seconds.
it's
Sit here,
2
take a
on
fucking
TikTok
breath.
now.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
TikTok,
it's probably like
2. It's like,
crazy.
what? It's shortening.
Yeah. Yeah. So if I can get you to like take just one breath and release your fucks, and that can just change your entire day, that's what I'm trying to do as well.
Yeah, beautiful.
Amazing.
So, Yogi Bryan, your mission, as you just said, is to help the world release 1 billion fucks. Can you share your vision of a world that has embraced love, gratitude, and abundance mindset, and how you believe this shift can positively impact humanity?
Yeah. Well, I feel like, mental health is, there's so much more anxiety, depression. Mental health is like such a powerful thing. And with social media, with the news, like it's just another way to cause like stress in our lives. We're comparing ourselves to Instagram influencers, or we're comparing ourselves to the mansion that person took a picture of. So it's like a lot of stress there. And if I can just come in and just do a pattern interrupt and just help you real quick to just come back to your breath, come back to your body and relax, then that's going to have a chain reaction on other people. But also, 100 billion fucks is a lot of fucks. So I don't know if I'm able to do this in my lifetime. So I need to train people and help other people teach. So it's just like a chain reaction of people helping other people to release fucks. So that's what I'm doing as well. I heard Satguru say, like, I love Satguru. And he said, like, his goal, his like life mission is bigger than himself and his lifetime. And I was like, that's fucking great. He's in service. So like, I want a goal that's bigger than my lifetime that'll just keep, other people have to do it as well.
Yeah. So you infuse your magic into other teachers to teach your philosophy. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I have a meditation teacher training course that I do. So like I help other teachers, incorporate this type of meditation so they can help others as well.
Yeah,
That's
beautiful.
amazing.
I love that.
Amazing.
Jen?
Oh, yeah. So laughter truly is the best medicine, and it's fantastic that you're infusing that humor into the spiritual journey. How do you strike a balance between having fun and maintaining that essence of these practices?
Yeah, I just try and be as like real to myself that I can. And sometimes I'll just make fun of yoga or make fun of like what I've seen in the yoga community and myself, make fun of myself. And other times like I get serious. And it's just like, because we have that attention span, it's so quick. I have to come on and give humor and entertain you as well as get you back into your breath and body. So I feel like that humor is very important. And it's just like my natural, like I've always been like a class clown growing up. So like I have to have humor in everything that I do. Like I try and not take myself too seriously. So I don't want to take my practice too seriously when I'm going online and sharing my practice.
Beautiful. Well, I love that. I love that. Love, gratitude, and abundant mindset are like really powerful concepts, and they can definitely change lives. Can you share a personal experience or story how these principles have positively, like how you've witnessed these principles positively impact your life and the lives of others?
Yeah, so I do a gratitude practice every morning. That's part of my meditation. So what I'll do is, I sit, I meditate, I just come back to my body. Because when you first start a meditation practice, it takes like 5-10 minutes just to get settled. Mind's all over the place.
Mm.
So it takes me like 5 to 10 minutes just to get settled. I don't do any breath work at the time. I'm just paying attention to my breath and allowing whatever thoughts come to just come and watch them. So that takes me about 5 to 10 minutes. And then once I settle, I start going through a gratitude list. So I just go through all the things that I'm grateful for. Grateful for my health, my son, my family, friends, their health, and all this stuff. So I go through everything that I'm grateful for. It just gets my energy going well. And then I do a breathing technique where I take my pulse, and with my mouth closed, I breathe in through my nose 6 pulse beats. I hold 3 pulse beats. Exhale out my nose 6 pulse beats. So it's a 6-3-6 breath based on my pulse. So that I've learned, just from reading a book on like just how to get your chakras and everything in balance. That breath work like gets me into the zone, gets like all my energy like lit up and balanced. And then I do like a manifestation. So I go through like, I have like a list of things I'm manifesting. My teacher taught me like you go through a list and then you visualize you having these things on your list. So you go through, visualize one, visualize the other, and you just do them as fast as you can. And then that's been like my powerful manifestation. So it's always starts with gratitude, get my vibe good, breath work, and then manifestation. Like, what do I want in the future? Because that's sometimes very powerful with depression and like grief and just some of the feelings when you feel stuck. It's like, well, what the fuck do you want for yourself in the future? Like, what goals do you have? Because sometimes that, you got to feel that grief, you got to feel that loss, you got to feel that depression. Yeah, you're stuck, but it's like, okay, how the fuck am I going to move forward? So manifestation, gratitude for the now, and then manifestation what I want moving forward. Just a powerful practice.
I love that. That's really powerful. I teach manifestation in a similar way, where we bring it, like we look into the future, having the thing, like being that person, what it feels like to be that person, like reflecting back and what you had to let go of, who did you have to become, like all the things. But we also bring in, like I get them to bring in the 5 senses. So what are you seeing, what are you hearing, what can you smell, taste, touch, feel inside your body? I actually do that every morning.
Love that.
I end up in the same space. I have no fucking idea where it is, but I end up in the same space. I'm like, I'm heading somewhere. I don't even know if it's from this planet, but it feels great. It just feels great. And I feel like for me, it's more of a feeling like it's quite an abundant place and space, and there's lots of love and family and conversations and connection and beauty around. So yeah, I love
Yes.
that.
I
I
love
love
that
that you
too.
do that. Yeah. Yeah.
So your mission, Yogi Bryan, is to help people find their truth and gain confidence and release unnecessary worries and release unnecessary worries is commendable. So can you share a particular meaningful moment when you witnessed a significant growth in someone you've guided?
Yeah. Significant growth in someone that I've guided. I do a lot. Well, I remember doing some of the meditations that I do, like really get like they get like an emotional response, and I've had where I do lead in like an actual in session. I'll do certain meditations that could provoke like ab reaction where you start kind of freaking out and like the trauma comes out. So I've had some students that's happened to, and just feeling the emotions. They feel the emotions that comes up. It's this big release, and then once it's released, it's just like this. I got it out of my system. I got it out of my system. That's what I see with some students that I take on the journey. It's like, yeah, what you repress becomes stress, and you got to feel it to heal it. So in order to heal it, you got to feel that shit. It's got to come up, and you got to feel it. So I have seen like several students where it's like getting that purge, getting that release, and then getting it out there. So yeah, it's very powerful.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
Yeah, beautiful. I think, trauma in this space is very common, and having practitioners that are trauma informed is really important, because there's a lot of practitioners out there that have absolutely no idea, and it becomes quite unsafe. So I love that, the awareness and the education, it sounds like you have behind that to help support that journey. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, all right. So our mission, I feel like I've already asked you this question, but your mission is to help people find their truth and gain confidence. And release the unnecessary.
It's the podcast's primary. Yeah.
The podcast. I just lost my spot there. I had a question. I'm like, I feel like I've answered this question before. So as our podcast primarily focuses on people who are navigating a spiritual awakening, what advice would you offer them in finding their true selves, embracing their purpose with confidence?
Yes, I'm all about journaling. Like, I love journaling, and I think it was like Jim Rohn who said, like, think on paper. So get your thoughts on paper, write on paper. My morning routine, I do morning pages. Julia Cameron, awesome. She invented morning pages, and it's just three pages of free flow. So you free flow whatever that comes to your mind, and it's getting all those cloud thoughts out of your brain. So a lot of people that I talk to, it's like they don't want to meditate. Well, it's like, okay, if you don't want to meditate, journal, because journaling will get all your shit on paper, and then you can think on paper, you can plan on paper, you can write your goals on paper. So just getting it on paper, you start to see like how your mind's working.
Yeah.
You can see what, like, maybe it's fucked up shit that you have in your brain, you put it on paper, and you're like, okay, this is like a common thing that happens all the time. Like, how can I change it? And a lot of things with like spiritual growth, or even like reprogramming your subconscious mind, is your subconscious mind, it communicates in questions. So it communicates in questions, just like Google. When you type in something in Google, you're going to get the best answer with the best question. So if you're more specific with the question, you get a more specific answer. And that's how your unconscious mind works. So when you're getting things on paper, write down like some of the questions like that you have, and then see what answers that you have. Like, for example, when you're using affirmations, it's more powerful to use questions as affirmations, right? When you're saying like, I am love, okay, your unconscious mind will be like, I am love. Okay, well, what does that look like? Compared to asking a question like, how am I going to be loved today? How am I going to show love today? When you're like, how am I going to show love today? It's like, oh shit, you have all these answers now compared to I am love. So ask yourself more powerful questions for your spiritual growth. Like, how can I be more spiritual today? Or how can I be more of service to people today? How can I be more of love today? You're going to get those answers.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that. I call it staying curious. When I teach people to connect with spirit, and they get these messages and downloads, which is, generally what we write in our journal pages, when that flow that just comes through. And I get people that have these answers or messages that come through. They're like, well, I don't understand. What do I do? I'm like, just get curious. Ask the question. And it's from that space that you get the answer, right?
Absolutely.
Drop into the feeling and sensation. Like I remember last year I had this pain in my shoulder. It just wasn't going anywhere. And I used to drop into the pain and say, what's here for me right now? Like, what are you revealing to me? And then from that space, whatever came through, I would just ask questions. Like, what is it that you need?
Yeah.
What does that look like? Right? Just getting curious.
Yeah, getting curious. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I love that.
Yeah, and it's also like, say like with pain, it's like a headache. If you have a headache, it's like, okay, well, what are 3 things that this can be other than a headache? Because it's like we label it like this is a headache, but it's like, what are 3 other things that this could be? Like, oh, I'm dehydrated, or, oh, like my neck hurts. Like, it's actually my neck pain, or I didn't get enough sleep. So then you start finding the solutions to what else this headache can be. So yeah, spot on.
That's it.
Being curious.
Yeah, beautiful.
That's amazing.
Yeah, stay curious. Stay curious. Childlike curiosity is like...
We love staying curious, don't we?
Me too.
So your journey and insight have been inspiring, Yogi Bryan. So before we conclude, is there anything else you'd like to share with our listeners? Any upcoming events or projects and additional resources that people can connect with you?
Yeah, I mean, you can find me on just searching Yogi Bryan on Google. You'll find me there. The one insight I really want to share is about doubt. One time I went to like a Dharma talk, and it was about doubt. and it said doubting enlightenment, like just being a doubter of enlightenment. And it's like, oh, enlightenment's not possible, or enlightenment's not this, or a meditation practice is not possible, or a yoga practice isn't possible. Whatever you're doubting, right? And in this Dharma talk, he said, well, what happens if you didn't doubt enlightenment and you worked 20 years or 10 years on reaching enlightenment? How much further along as a person would you be if you took that doubt away, right? You'd just be like so much further along, or not necessarily further along, but like how much progress would you make as a person in 10 years if you didn't have that doubt? And just like meditation, if you took the doubt of like, I can't meditate, or meditation's not possible, but if you tried it for 90 days or you tried it for 30 days, how much progress would you make as a person if you just didn't have that doubt? So I just want to leave that there for everybody about doubt and how powerful doubt is holding you back compared to just being curious. Like you were saying, Christy, being curious about, hey, maybe if I try this, how much more progress would I make in 10 days or 30 days or 90 days? Maybe it would change your life, right? Change my life, day 77. So that could be the same thing for you with whatever you're doing, playing golf or doing this or that. Taking that doubt away and just being curious about it and trying.
Yeah, I love that. It's where the focus goes, the energy flows, right? If we're doubting, doubt is very contracting. It's not very expanding. It holds us back. And even in my teachings and my learnings, I have people come into my master classes at all different various levels. And the first thing I say to everyone is, you might hear something today that you've heard before. And, the first thing we do when that happens is go, hey, I've heard this before. I know this thing. That actually is contracting. It holds us back, right? It's doubting that it's actually doubting that you're going to learn anything else. So instead of saying, I know this, rephrase that to, it's just a reframe, right? What am I going to learn differently this time? And the second you say that, you open yourself up to learning more. It's just like, losing that doubt and reframing that
exactly.
thought,
yes.
really.
Yeah, reframing it.
We put so many limitations on ourselves with our language. Like our language literally creates our reality.
It does 100%.
I love this.
Just got it. It's about teaching people to flip the script, right?
Yeah.
Flip the script. Totally. Yeah, flip the script. What else could it be? Just asking yourself those questions, being curious.
Yeah.
What else is possible? I love it. So yeah, thank you. Thank you again, Yogi Bryan. I really appreciate you and your time to come here today. Thanks for being a part of Elevate Your Spiritual Awakening. Your passion for guiding others and your unique approach to spiritual practices has been truly eye-opening. And we're so grateful to have you as a guest today. I know, like, I came across you on TikTok through your meditations, and I love the way you teach. I love those pattern interrupts and
thank you.
Relaxing the titties and the asshole.
Relax the butt cheeks.
Like letting it all go.
Absolutely.
Relax it.
Yeah, thanks so much, Christy. Thanks, Jen, for having me on the podcast. Yes, and everybody relax your butt cheeks, relax the titties, and relax your whole body. Yeah, and thanks for having me on.
Yeah, relax it. You're so very welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Elevate Your Spiritual Awakening. We hope you've been inspired and enlightened by Yogi Bryan's wisdom and his journey.
Remember, your path to self-discovery is unique, and we're here to support you every step of the way. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and stay tuned for more soul-nourishing conversations.
You can find all the details and resources mentioned in this episode on our website. And if you have any questions or want to share your own spiritual awakening journey, we'd love to hear from you.
Our mission is to empower people who are navigating their way through their spiritual awakening, helping them find their true selves, embrace their purpose with confidence.
So until next time, remember to stay open to new experiences and embrace the beauty of your spiritual journey. Keep exploring, keep evolving, and remember that the power of meditation and restful sleep can be transformational on your journey.
Much love.
Stay curious.
See you, fuckers.
Stay curious.